We just don't know the answers to those things yet. And until we do, we just don't know how this is going to unfold. Maybe it is a one-year suspension. Maybe it gets reduced. Maybe he just can't return as Celtics head coach after that 1 year for a whole variety of reasons. Until we know those particulars, I think rushing to judgment on the length of the penalty is probably not a good idea.
Well, for now, we have to look to what comes next. And Woj, you reported that Joe Mazzulla will be the interim head coach here. You can see his resume on your screen. He's been a Celtics assistant coach the last 3 seasons after spending the previous 3 seasons at Fairmont State. And he played for West Virginia between 2006 and 2011, and now could become the NBA's youngest head coach at 34 years old. And we'd be remiss not to also mention that Mazzulla was arrested twice at West Virginia, once in 2008 for underage drinking and aggravated assault. He pled guilty, paid a fine, and then again in 2009 for domestic battery after an incident at Morgantown Bar. The domestic battery case never went to trial. It was settled in August of 2009. He paid a $100 fine and court costs, plus had to do 40 hours of community service. Now, that was 13 years ago. He settled and paid both fines. So, Woj, why are the Celtics choosing him as their next head coach?
Well, let's start with this. This is somebody whose character they really believe in, whose leadership they really believe in, and tactically, they think this is Joe Mazzulla has all the makings of a head coach in the NBA. He was one of the finalists in Utah, along with his colleague Will Hardy, who was together. They were on the Celtics staff last year with Ime Udoka. Hardy gets the job. Will Hardy wanted to take Joe Mazzulla to the Jazz with him. Boston stepped up and elevated him. And so this is somebody who I think was going to be a head coach in this league. It comes a lot sooner. Defensively played a big role tactically with Udoka last year on a defense that was #1 in the league. But he is not in here. This is not a rebuild like Utah. He is inheriting a team with championship aspirations. You know, he was a small college head coach. He does have some head coaching experience. It's a lot different with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But I think you might see them maybe bring in another veteran assistant for this staff. It's a lot of brain power that goes out the door with Udoka, Will Hardy, and now Mazzulla moving up. But this is somebody who I know Brad Stevens really believes in, and somebody who, if he wasn't going to be the interim head coach here in Boston this year, was on his way to be a head coach elsewhere.
And I think with all of that as the backdrop.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.